Hi, my name is Allan, and this is my 11th attempt at making a YouTube video. This is what a weekend of camping, boating, and kayaking with Erin looks like. We got the entire back seat packed to the brim. We have the entire truck bed packed to the brim. And this side of the back seat, I have 2 cubic feet of space left here for Erin's stuff. On this trip, we will be heading to lovely Fort McCoy, Florida for some camping at the Gores Landing campground that sits directly on the beautiful Ocklawaha River. We will be doing some kayaking and boating on both the Silver River and the Ocklawaha River. We are also going to see Lake Ocklawaha while they have the water drawn down, so we can kayak in a forest that was covered by water when they originally dammed the Ocklawaha River. On this trip, we are leaving right after work on a Friday and heading up to Gores Landing for a rare nighttime camp setup. It's pretty full.
Southwest 1st Avenue, make a left. Oh, right here. So, yep.
But not before I stop for some tiki drinks at the Tipsy Skipper in downtown Ocala, Florida. Erin and I love to go what I call the real deal tiki bars, so you can imagine my surprise when we found one had opened here in Ocala. Since I was driving, I went with a virgin pina colada and Erin had a shark's tooth. Both drinks were absolutely delicious. Once we finished our amazing cocktails at the Tipsy Skipper, we made our way over to the Gores Landing campground for a wonderful 1 a.m. setup on a chilly February evening in north central Florida. We are definitely going to get some use out of the tent heater this weekend. Gores Landing is one of my favorite places to camp. I love being able to walk right over and see this beautiful river. We also have used this as our ending point on many kayaking trips, and it's a great launch point for the boat. This is a completely primitive campground with no electric and no water hookups. There are bathrooms, however they do not have showers, except for a couple outside ones that have nothing for privacy. Gores Landing is a first-come, first-served campground and charges $10 a night for camping, plus a $7 vehicle fee, which is payable via an honor box. This is a For our first adventure of the weekend, we are heading to Ray's Wayside in Silver Springs, Florida, to paddle 5 miles upstream on the Silver River to the head spring and then float back with the current pushing us. There is a $7 charge to park at Gores Landing, which is payable in exact cash only. We have seen tons of wildlife on our previous trips. There are monkeys that live along the river that we are hoping to see. I have seen the monkeys many times on other trips, but Erin has yet to spot them. I have seen monkeys right over here, but not the last few times.
Those aren't monkeys, those are otters. I see otters. Right here. There's two of them. Oh, they're so cute.
Hello, Mr. Otter. I have him on film. He's got a fish. He went under. There's two of them now. Yes. Coming right over by us. He's right there in front of you. Look at that.
Look, he's got the fish. Oh my God, that is so cool. Oh, he ran right underneath me.
Once we left the otters, we headed upstream only a little ways before we started hearing some rustling in the trees and seeing some sort of animal movement.
I see it. He is cute.
The monkeys are rhesus monkeys and are indigenous to South and Southeast Asia. They are an invasive species here in Florida. They are also known to get aggressive at times and even dive bomb kayakers from the trees, So if you see them, you need to be extra careful.
Alan, there's one above you over here, so be careful.
They also all carry herpes, which can be passed to humans. Not a bad day for early February in northern Florida. And we've already crossed off 2 animals off of our checklist. I would not have expected, if you just told me the first animals off the list would be otter and monkey, I would have said no way. Oh no, gator number 1. Oh, he's moving. He's leaving. Hello, sir. Goodbye, Mr. Gator. That will be gator number 1. Hello, sir. This trip is 10 miles total, with half of it being against the current, which can be a little strong in places. Up, gator number 6. There's gator number 7. There's gator number 8. I see you in there. Oh, there's gator 10.
This alligator's eating a turtle or something. Yep, he just picked it up. He's chomping.
We're going to have the sober carpenter, the fake IPA. We have not seen my favorite friends yet, the manatees. Hello, sir. Oh, there's another one up there. He looked like a very nice guy. This one's an 18-incher. Hello, young'un. You see this little guy? Oh, happy Valentine's Day. I love you. Big hearts. Hearts. Oh yeah, there's a baby. We're gonna get some current through here. Be like slow motion. You wanna wave hi? There's gator number 11. Manatee right here. Go as fast as you can, see. I've never seen this many people here. We stopped at the only stop along the entire paddling route for some lunch, and it was more crowded than we had ever seen it. It turns out the Paddle Tribe, a Facebook paddling group, were having one of their paddle meetups on the Silver River this weekend, and we got to meet a bunch of them. Everyone we met was really nice, and they all seemed to be having a great time. A few of them were even staying at the Gores Landing campground tonight. I went with a quick and easy lunch today, boiled hot dogs with some toppings. I'll have to come back. Here's a gator. Here's 17. You're number 19, sir. It's at least a 6-footer. Yeah, open your eyes there, buddy. Erin, this is that tag of that manatee. I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, he's sleeping. Manatees that have been rehabilitated are usually tagged upon release to monitor their progress. Once the manatee returns to its normal behavior, the tag is removed. I looked online to try to find this one's name, but with no luck. If anyone is watching and knows its name, please leave a comment below and let me know. Isn't that funny? I noticed the tag and I'm like, that's the manatee tag. And there he is. Yeah, it's like a tag. He was injured and I guess he's rehabilitated. Oh, that's 24. Oh, that's 25. This is one of the old sets from the movie. It used to be the boat. Oh, there's 26, Erin. The closer you get to the head springs, the more crowded it will start to get. The Silver Springs kayak rental is here and they get very busy on the weekends. In addition, you have several other tour companies bringing kayaks out here. You also have to be aware of the glass-bottom tour boats and not get in their way. So that's the head spring. And then we don't have to go back through this narrow part. We'll just go down the main river. This is the head spring right in here. This is where it gets real deep. I've never done this thing. It'd be fun. I don't know how much it is. Yeah, that's the movie set. Sea Hunt. What's up, beautiful? You do have a great smile. Oh. There's 27. There's 28. Oh. 29. Up. 30. You can't say that one's little. That one's at least 12 foot. Silver Springs has been the set for quite a few movies, including The Creature of the Black Lagoon, a couple of the Tarzan movies, Moonraker, and everyone's favorite, Smokey and the Bandit 3. There are several movie props under the water, including some sunken boats and some Greek statues. The tag on the manatee contains a tracking device equipped with GPS that is tethered to a cushioned belt around its tail that records location, activity levels, and diving behavior. It has a safety feature to break free if the tag becomes caught on something. These tags pose no harm to the manatees. Oh look, little baby. There's a gator. We stopped back by the spot we had lunch at, and this time it was almost completely empty. There are over 100 species of birds that call the Silver River home, including ospreys, wild turkeys, wood ducks, and hingas, and many more. Established in the 1870s, Silver Springs is Florida's original tourist attraction. It was quite popular all the way until the 1970s when Disney World and all the Orlando attractions began taking the business away. After decades of losing revenue, Silver Springs was taken over by the state park system in 2013 and merged with the neighboring Silver River State Park to form the Silver Springs State Park. The Silver River is a 5.5-mile-long river that originates at the Silver Springs and empties into the Ocklawaha River. Silver Springs is a first magnitude spring, discharging over 500 million gallons of water a day. Sadly, the water flow has been decreasing over the years, and Silver Springs is now considered an endangered spring. The river depth ranges from 6 feet to 30 feet. The deepest parts are where the many springs discharge along the river. There are over 30 springs in total that feed into the Silver River. Almost the entire river is within Silver Springs State Park. There is no swimming allowed in the river, and you are not allowed to exit your boats along the shoreline. There is the one spot 2 miles down from the head springs that has the dock, a porta potty, and some picnic tables and benches. We were only about a half a mile away from getting back to Ray's Wayside when we spotted a lot more of these guys. It is estimated that there are over 300 monkeys in and around Silver Springs State Park. As I stated earlier, the monkeys are an invasive species to Florida. So just how did they wind up here in Silver Springs? In 1938, Colonel Toohey, a tour boat operator, bought 6 of the monkeys in New York City and released them on an island that lies within what's now Silver Springs State Park. He wanted to create a park like what was in the Tarzan stories. What Colonel Toohey didn't know was that unlike most monkeys, this particular species of monkeys are great swimmers. All the monkeys swam off the island within minutes of releasing them. Then, not learning his lesson from the first time, Colonel Toohey went back to New York and bought 6 more monkeys, who also escaped the island within minutes. By the 1980s, the monkeys had spread across the entire Silver River State Park. Seeing so many monkeys definitely was the highlight of the trip, but those otters we saw earlier are a very close second. If you've made it this far into the video, please hit that like and subscribe button to be notified when we post our future wild Florida adventures. As I said earlier, I have never been on the Silver River and not seen an abundant amount of wildlife. Today has been no different. In the end, we wound up seeing 51 alligators, at least 60 monkeys, 12 manatee, the 2 otters, and so many species of birds and turtles. This was an all-day paddle. We started at 8 a.m. and didn't finish till 4 p.m. It has definitely been one amazing day out on the Silver River. After packing up the boats, we decided to head over to Fort King National Monument since it was only a few miles away. Fort King is a reconstructed U.S. Army fort. It was a key military post during the Second Seminole War. This is where they brought in the Trojan horse. Fort King was originally built in 1827 and was named for Colonel William King. In July 1836, Fort King was abandoned and burned by the Seminoles. In 1837, the second Fort King was built. This site served as military headquarters for most of the Second Seminole War. They have a visitor center that tells the history of the war that is open on weekends. Unfortunately, we arrived too late today and it was already closed. We still were able to check out the actual fort itself, and we checked out the hiking trails back behind the Welcome Center. They also had a very nice setup for group campfire events. The trails were nice and we ended up finding the Seep Spring. The Seep Spring is of historical significance as it was the main source of water for the soldiers at Fort King. After finishing our hike, it was definitely time for some dinner, so we decided to check out Fat Boy's Barbecue, which we had passed on the way in. I consider myself somewhat of a barbecue connoisseur, and I have to say the food here was amazing. This is easily the best barbecue I've ever had in Florida. Everything tasted very fresh and was cooked perfectly. The amount of meat added to the baked beans was definitely impressive. We will definitely be coming back. Finally, we got some peach cobbler. We're going into the Charlie horse that looks like it was Ponderosa. After our amazing barbecue, it was time to hit one last spot for some live music and a celebratory beverage for completing our paddle adventure. I woke up hungry and craving pancakes, so I decided to hit Pappy's place, which I had been to before and knew they served a delicious breakfast. It was just as good on my second time around. Unfortunately, we had an issue with one of the air valves on the boat and was unable to inflate one of the chambers, so my original plan of taking the boat from Gores Landing down to Lake Ocklawaha to see the exposed forest had to be modified. Instead, we decided to take the car 30 minutes up the road to Interlachen, Florida, and to Kenwood boat ramp to launch the kayaks to check out the exposed forest from there. I had gotten a call a couple months ago from my good friend Carter, who tipped me off that I have to go see Lake Ocklawaha and see the exposed forest while the water was drawn down. So I definitely had to check it out. Since a regular boat launch becomes unusable when the lake is drawn down, they make a temporary boat launch about a mile down via dirt road to what is normally the lake bed. Every 3 to 4 years, usually from October to March, they bring the water levels down by 7 to 9 feet to get rid of invasive aquatic vegetation and maintain the ecological health of the lake. It also helps with fish spawning. It also gives them an opportunity to inspect and make any repairs to the Rodman Dam if necessary. Unfortunately, there was a front that came through last night, and today's paddle adventure is going to be a little cooler than expected. The temperature is 60 degrees, but the overcast and wind is making it feel colder. Lake Ocklawaha, also known as the Rodman Reservoir, was created in 1968 by the Rodman Dam. The lake is famous for largemouth bass, brim, catfish, and mullet. The water is often cooler than surrounding lakes because it is fed by Silver Springs. It was really cool to see what had to be at least a couple of miles of exposed tree trunks that went in every direction. The amount of birds out on these exposed trees is impressive. I'm going to assume there is great fishing here, as there were a lot of fishing boats out today. Just like Silver Springs, the amount of birds was really cool. In addition to the drowned forest, the drawdown also exposes several hidden springs. Unfortunately, at the time of this video's posting, the dam had been closed back up and the water level in the lake is rising again and will soon cover the forest completely until they draw down the lake again in 5 years. However, I have seen talk lately that there has been a bill introduced in the Florida legislature to bring the Ocklawaha River back to its natural flow for its entire length, where it eventually spills in to the St. Johns River. After checking out the drowned forest, it's time to head up the road and check out Interlochen, Florida. We found this little barbecue truck and grabbed a quick sandwich and went and found some picnic tables to eat at by the caboose. And lastly, after filling our bellies, it was time to have one last adult beverage before heading home.
We're going to this class. Little Caesars dive bar. Daiquiri lounge. You can get a daiquiri to go to the drive-thru. We're here. There's the drive-thru menu. $8. You get the June-based snacks.
Thankfully, we found Little Caesars Dive Bar here in Interlaken for a frozen drink and a beer. What a great way to close out an amazing weekend.